Good evening, guys. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Evening, sir.
All right. Promise said the last class was very difficult for him to understand. So I'll quickly go back on the review of that class because those concepts are very, very important for any project that you're looking at. So I'll go back there, then I'll then build on that. So I would like to comment on my code out first so that I'll be on commenting them one after the other. So basically, last class we talked about objects. Okay, we said object is a concept in programming language, not just JavaScript, but every programming language that you are learning. The reason why we treat objects, why object is very important, is because you want to collect an entity whereby you want to get the total description, be able to identify this is this particular object, this particular entity. And you know, entity can have attributes. Like for example, now we said animal we have their species, all right, they have their breed, they have their either is a female or a male, and they have name. Goat is the name of a goat. They have she goat and they have he goat. So let's say you are looking at creating an object for something like a goat. So those things are the attribute that you find inside. That's how we define an object. Then I now went further and said an object can be inside what? Inside an array. All right. In that class, I could remember saying that if you have an object is declared with a curly brace. You declare object with a curly brace. Then you declare an array with what? With a square what? A square bracket. But there are scenario whereby you have a square bracket, then you have curly brace inside. All right. Now you can have comma curly brace inside. So this one that you are seeing here is an object, but this one you are seeing here is what? Is an array. So an array can carry what? Object. While object can also stand on their what? On their own. Alright. So that was the beginning of that class. Then one further to give an example of an object. The kind of object we give an example of is an object of a product. You can see that I want to get the total information of a particular product or for a stock. I need to know the name of the product and I need to know the price of the product. If the product has color, I need to know the color of the product. Okay, so what we are saying now is this: you see this part that you have name, I use part you have the name of the product. This place is called key, while this place is called what? Value. So in a nutshell, an object is having a key and a what? And a value. All right, you use the key to identify item of what? Of an object. Is that okay? So we now took an example. We tried to check what is inside using our words, our console.log. Like I said, if you have this type of a scenario, it means that console.log product.what.name. This name here is the what? Is the key. So what you are expected to display on your cursor should be stocks. It should be socks. Sorry. Let me inspect it so that you'll be seeing what we are doing. So what I should be expecting to see on my cursor should be socks. You can see that I have socks there. So this one will give you the price of the cursor. All right. So that's where we started our class from. So we now went further to give another example of objects. Now this time around, we look at an object inside what? Inside an array. An object inside what? Inside an array. So we look at the object. The object is called what? Cat. So we are trying to symbolize a checkout application whereby you go to the application, you buy your product and stuff like that. You add a product to your cart. You can know that you may not have just only one product in your cart. You may have series of products you're adding in your cart. So for you to get those items that you're adding in your cart, like something like the product, the quantity, and also the price. For example, I have something like a laptop, HP laptop. You are buying HP laptop from me, so I can see that HP laptop you are buying as a product because I want to see data information on the front end. That's what we give you we will create a variable called what? Cart. Remember we said this is constant. It means that whatever is declared with this constant, it cannot be reassigned in the course of the program. So we look at this cat is having a product of Gucci, a product of watch, a product of car, a product of another car. I think I was trying to explain repetition of this product here. So if you look at your cursor, at this part we say cursor.log, we get our what? Our cat. All the items we just declared inside. Remember I said this is your key and this is your what? Your value. So if peradventure I want to just get the product, a cat, then I have something like products. Cats, I just want to get access to their what? To their product. I'll just go to cat dot what? Dot product. So cat dot product we only display only the words I'm having undefined. What am I having undefined? Cats dot products. Cats dot products. Now look at it now. Why am I having undefined here? Is because these are words, these are objects. Okay, these are objects. So how I was supposed to reference this, I was supposed to use the index method, which is going to be cat my square bracket. Remember we said in an array you access this item by what? By square brackets. So what you now see I'm having here now, I'm having the products, which is watch. So I'm only accessing what? Watch. So if I want to access the index of this guy now is 0. Index of watch is what? Is 1. I don't need to say this one, but we said array start with index of what? 0. So if I want to access something like this one that is an object, I can say product dot cat dot what's going to be index of this 0 1 2 3 4 5. So that will be cats. In a square bracket I will have 5 words inside. So that last item should be printed out. You can say I have my car and the quantity is what? Is 3. Please, is this understood? Hello, is it understood? Hello.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so now I think where the issue was now coming in that class was how do we now display it on the browser? Okay, how do you show your what you are writing? How do you show it on your browser? All right, now cursor.log is easy to display because actually JavaScript is a cursor programming language. So just call your item. But now for you to display it inside your browser, we already know that anything that will show on your browser, it must be HTML. Anything that you want to appear in your browser must be what? HTML. So JavaScript itself cannot appear on your browser, neither is CSS will appear on your browser. What CSS will do on your browser is just to color it, give it beautification or whatever. What JavaScript will do on your browser is to add an dynamic responsiveness or effect on your browser. What shows item in your browser is what? Is HTML. And for us to display that kind of item, it means that I need to create an HTML word tag outside here. I need to create an HTML tag. Okay, so let me say I'm creating a tag under this next button. All right, let's say I have something here. So let's say this is a paragraph element. It can be anything. You can display it inside a div, inside a container. All right, but what we said in that class, if I said cat, you will know that what you see on your browser, you should see cat on your browser, isn't it? But this time around I don't want cats. I don't want to type it. I want JavaScript to be the one to place it there for me. We say you give it a what? A class or what? Or an ID. You give it a class or an ID. So if I give it a class, let's say I give it a class of cat, or let's say cats. Okay, I give it a class of cats and I want to display this cat on my browser. Now this is an object, right? This one now, object of 0, object of what? Of 1, object of what? 2, object of 3, object of 4, object of what? 5, isn't it? Are you there? So what I would say now is this. I can just say, since I've given that, I can say document. I got, instead of declaring it as a variable first, you can also use this method, query selector. All right, query selector. What am I going to? I'm going to the class which we give it to be a class of cats, a class of cats. Dot inner words, inner HTML or text content. One thing that make JavaScript confusing is there are many ways of doing it. So equals to, what am I showing? I'm showing what? My cat. If I come here and I'm passing cat, I'll be having object everywhere. I pass in cats. I just pass it like this. What do you notice I'm having? I'm having object, object, object. So for me to get my first object, I'll just say my square bracket 0. Alright. It's still giving me what? Object what? Object. So what do we do in this particular what? In this particular case? This is an object. This is what? This is an object. And this is what? This is an object. So what if I say I am passing this item inside a variable? All right, I say let uh, t equals to cats. Then cat dot, do I have access to anything? Cat dot product. I don't have access. Cat dot product. Where is this product coming from? Yeah, let's say I say cat dot product. Then I get access to the first one, which is a 0. So if I say cat dot product, let me see the error I'm going to see. Say uncaught error type read property of undefined reading 0. So let's say cat dot what dot product. Supposed to have access to the what, to the product. So what do I have? You can see that I have cat dot product. I still have what, object what, objects. Cat dot product. Let me use the index method. Cat dot, I have 0 here. Document dot create selector. I got my cat dot inner HTML. There equals to cat. So equals to, it's supposed to equals to t. Now, if this method did not work out for you, all right, the other method you do is to destructure this particular entity. All right, you destructure them. So how do you destructure them? You declare a variable called const. Declare a variable called const. Then you pass them inside. They are called object, right? What are the items in the object? They are product inside. They are product inside. So I have products. So the next item I have there is a quantity. I have product and what, quantity. So pass this thing inside a code. Pass inside a code. So equals to the object name. What's the object name? The object name is what, is cats. Equals to what, cats. So this one now, I've actually destructured this particular uh, item you have inside this. Where's my error coming from? So what am I having? What's this error here? Cannot redeclare a block scope variable missing in JavaScript. Oh, products, wrong spelling. Products, products, quantity. Products, quantity, quantity. So what's going on here? Mm, let me see. Identifier product has already been what be declared. Oh, it's like I have product declared. Yeah. Uncalled type row cannot. Yes. So this is now because I've declared it before. Yeah. So this is what they called destructuring in JavaScript. Cannot cannot access product before initialization. Like what? So this one now is because of this one, those ones that are running down here. So let me see. This one should be flagging error now. All right. So when I said uh when I destructure this now, you can see that I have my I have it here. So what's going on here? I want to display it on my browser. I want to display it on my browser. This pattern is what they call destructuring in JavaScript. Destructuring. So destructuring now, instead of me to now be doing the variable name with the object's identification, I can just come here and pass in and said, since I've declared it, I can just say products. All right, you can just say products. So product is undefined. Product is undefined. Okay, if I pass it inside a, let me first of all see what this one will produce first. Console.log, console.log, I have products. So I pass products here. Let me see what I'm going to be having here. So I'm having objects. All right, I'm having objects displaying here. If I pass it inside a curly brace, okay, so I have my products. The other one is telling me not defined. So this is the product. So I have access to the key, but it's not giving me what the value. So the value of this one is going to be product dot uh, product is equals to whatever I want to pass it to. If I say product dot product dot I should have access to watch, cat dot products. I have this here. Cap dot product is showing me, but where is this object coming from? This object should be coming from this. Mm, cats products. cards. Hello, hello, hello. Are you both there?
Can hear you. Yeah, I can
Right.
hear you, sir.
Okay. So I'm having access to my product, which is Gucci. The issue now is displaying it on my browser. Is it that because I have similar products here? Let me check this. Okay. So I think I've gotten where my error was coming from. So if I say, for example, I said my uh, let's say inner.html, I say cats. The index now is what? I say 0. So I want to access the first one, which is I should have access to products. So if I run this code, I shouldn't have objects displaying here. Yes. So you can see that I have access to what? I have access to the Gucci. Alright. This Gucci, which is the first item that I have here. So it invariably means that if I want to have access to something like the quantity of the first item that I have there, I can say, okay, concatenate, which is plus, then concatenate again. I'm going to say cat, right? Then I will talk to the what? The index. The index is what is 0. So what am I getting from the index there? I'm getting what? Dot what? Quantity. So this is going to give me a big fat error. So if I save this, I will not just only have access to Gucci, I will also have access to the what? To the quantity. Are we together? Hello? Hello? So I will not only have
Hello, sir.
access.
I have
Yeah.
a question.
Hmm.
Hello.
I'm with you.
I have a question in line 70. You say document dot jQuery query
Query
selector,
selector. Yes.
then brackets dot path. Yeah, I don't get this line 70. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, this
Right.
cat. This cat is a class I declared here. Remember I declared a class here inside this div container. I declared a class here called cat. This is it here. Do you see it here? So this cat they are seeing here, okay, I can change this to something else. Let's say city. All right. So what I will change here, I'll have to call my what? My city. Do you know why I'm using it? Because I want this item to appear on the what? On that particular div, which is what? The city. Do you understand it?
Okay. Okay.
I,
But
I want it to
if you
appear.
check the after the inner SMA equal to cart,
Hmm.
yeah, after the card dot product, then this plus, then those double code there, like you say you want
Yes.
to make it like double it, which
Yes.
is plus
This
plus.
this double code you are
So
seeing here
like
is
can
because of space. Do you understand? I want to space the product from the word, from the quantity. The product is Gucci. The quantity is 30. And there's a small space here, Abby. This small space you are seeing is as a result of this dot. So if I remove this
yeah,
small space here, they will be they will be joined together. Are you seeing it?
yeah.
Are you getting it? So I have to put space so that I have that
Okay,
space
okay.
there. So
So which means in JavaScript for you to achieve blue space is double quote.
double quotes. You have to have a quote. Alright, you have to have a
Yeah.
quote. Alright. Then the plus there is concatenation. Concatenation means
Ah,
joining two things to what?
thank you.
Together. Okay, so now that is how to access. If peradventure now you want to access any of these items, let's say I want to access this item. Remember the index of this one was what? The index of this car of this one was 5, right? Just go there. Just come here. put your plus. If you want to add your space, you can add your space, which is quotes, then your plus again. So what will I call? I will have to call my cats, right? I'll call my cat the index. I'll talk to the index, which is what, 5. Then before you now go for the words, for the key is what, product. So if I run this thing now, you will see car will be placed here, which is inside my words object words array. Do you understand? So in a nutshell, you assess the value. All right, you assess the value inside an object with the what, with the key. Can I continue? Fola,
Yeah, yeah, you can.
Fola, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Somebody
Please.
is going off and on. I
It's
hope you
not
not.
me.
Okay.
No.
All right, let's continue. So I hope we'll get this concept very clear. Now let's continue. In that class, we declared a class, sorry, an array of words of people. All right. Then inside this array, we are having object. This is object one. This is what, object two. Just like the example you have in there. Now we now said we want, when this is click, right, it should change. When this is click, it should change. But before I will come here, let me just show you how this thing will appear first. So that, let me just break this thing down. So I'm going to go to my HTML. I'm going to go to my HTML. This is my HTML here. On the normal norms, I was supposed to declare a class. Let's arrange this code properly. Let this JavaScript go to a JavaScript folder so that it will not be confusing you guys. So let me cut it out of here. So I'm going to create a file here called object.what.js. Object.what.js, because if I'm doing like that, you'll be confused. So let me paste the class. So this one. So when you are doing something like this, you don't have to put that this script that is here. You don't need it. So now I can be writing there. You know that this is my HTML, Abby. This is my HTML. Let's say first thing first. Let me just first of all pass in the class here, a div, a container here. Inside this container, I have something like a paragraph. All right. Still inside this container, I have something like image. Okay. I have something like image. We already know that these are to show words, image. Okay. So what I want to show is what is inside my object, because what I have inside my object, I have image, I have text, I have phone number, isn't it? I have things like this there. So the first thing I'm going to do here now, please let me make this guy available here. I still have some script there, but no problem, sure. So you have to link it here with your script words, script tag. So what's my, you now go with your what, your sroc, which you call your attributes. So my JavaScript, you can see that is object.what.js. So if you run your program, you see be what, you'll be good, your program will be working fine. But this is more neater, and this one will be more understanding for you. All right, so that will not be confused. So now I want to display what is inside my objects here. So I'm going to give this guy an ID, or let me use class. I'm going to give this one a class. Let's say this class, I will give it a cover words, a cover image, cover img. Okay, why this one is just the, I just want to show the name. I'm going to give it a class again. So let's say display words. Let's say this is what, display hyphen words hyphen name. All right, now what are you going to observe? I want to show words, I want to show image, I also want to show words the display name there. All right, I can just go straight forward and get my job done, or I use the concept of the class or define a variable. Let me go one step to another. I'll first of all like to comment this part out, because I don't want you to, all right, I can still leave it though, no problem, I can still leave it. But I hope you know that this is where I will write my code. This is where I will write my code. Or should I bring my code down? Let me bring it. I'm looking at, okay, let me write it on top. So I can say document promise document dot query selector. All right, what's the class that I gave that image? I gave that image what class? Class of cover img, Abi. cover hyphen what img. This is the class I gave it,
Yeah.
isn't it? So if you want image to appear, we said the attribute for that is what? Sroc. So I will say dot sroc. We did it in the beginning of JavaScript. So if I want to access the first item, which I want to go straight to the image, it's going to be people. I first of all need to go to my people. All right. The order I need to go, the first one, which is going to be the index. All right. The index of the first one is what? Is 0, right? Then I will now go to the key. What's the key? The key is what? img. All right. If I save this code, you see that the image appeared. That's the image showing there. Let me make it smaller so that we get, so I can just come here and make it small. Just passing my width what property here. My width property, let me give it 300 what pixels. So are you seeing the image here? All right, this image is coming from the array. Okay, let's say I want to show another image there, which is this. Let's say the second one. What will I go? I'll come here and turn this on to what? To 1. Are you seeing it? I want to show the third one. I'll turn this on to what? To 2. Are you seeing it? So what I'm saying in essence is this: for you to show the item inside an object, the object name, the index of the object, dot the what? The key. Is this concept clear? Then the next thing I said I want to show again, I want to show the, let's say the name. Let's say the name. I can just say documents dot query selector uh what is my class name for name there? I think is display name, right? We gave it display name here. That's the class that we gave this. So let me just copy it. Class of display name. So remember, if you are dealing with text, is either you are using inner HTML, you are using text contents, or you are using what? Inner text. Please, are we getting it? So I'm going to use inner word text, or let me use inner HTML since we are already used to it. Inner HTML equals to, where am I going to? I want to display the name, right? So if I want to display the name, it means I need first of all need to call my what? My object name, which is what? Which is people. Then I need to now also call uh, I need to call the what? The index, the index of 0. Then I will call the attribute. The attribute there is what? Is name. The attribute there is what? Is name. If I run it, you will see that I'm getting Crespin. I'm getting what? Crespin. If you see the first object we have there, it's not Crespin that we have there as the name. Is this okay? Is this okay? Please, I need respond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we went further to do something like this. When you click on it, what will happen? We want it to change where you click on it. Then I said there is an error now. There's already an error. That's why you know that it's not clicking again. So what I would do is there is that I will create another button inside my HTML. Let me see. I have another button called previous. This one is called previous. This one is called previous. Why this one is called? The other one is called what? Is called next. So what I'm looking at is, so let this one will be btn what? Btn previous, or let me call it btn prev. Btn prev. This one is btn next. The other one is btn prev. So what we did in our JavaScript is this. The first thing we did is that we declare our variable. I think I can comment this part out because it's not really needed. This part is not really needed. So this is what I'm working on now. Yep. So this is what I'm working on. When this button is clicked, it will change. So let's go back to the JavaScript. So what we did here is that we declare variables. Yeah, we declare variables for what we are working with. The first variable I have here is the image, which is I called image cover. I target the img show. The img show that I see here is responsible for this image that you are seeing here. This image, you can see that it's given the class of words img words, img show. So I declare the variable whatever this one will be. I'm going to use this one to handle it. So I declared another one for my button. So this one is going to be my priv button. So let me just call this one, since I want to modify the application, let me call it next. uh let's say next btn. So we go for btn next. So this one will now go for priv btn. That's previous priv btn. So I have this here. So this one should be priv what btn also. Btn priv. I hope this will not confuse me like this. What's the class that I gave this? Btn priv, right? So this one will be what btn what priv. So the first thing we did was that we said we allow everything to appear when the browser would load out. When the browser load out, let everything appear. Please permit me to comment this one out, because that just know that it's no longer existing. So I'm dealing with this one. So when the browser load out, show whatever item that you have inside there when the browser would load out. So that's what. So we said that in doing that, that is called an event listener. This is a window. This white space is a browser, Abby. Your browser is a window. All right. So if you are looking at when the window load, you should be looking at the event listener for what? For a DOM content word loaded. That's what we did here. All right. So we get a DOM content loaded for this. Then we look at when this one loads. Then inside there, I've told you guys start without number that this is a callback word. This is a callback function. What do we call a callback function? When a function is not having a name, that's what we call what? A callback function. And we are also said that the essence of a function in a program is to handle a bulk of your statements that you want to what you want to execute. All right. So what I did here was that remember we declare a variable to start from the beginning, which I gave it to be what? Items. All right. Then my array name, if you look at the array name we have here, it's not people, so that will be the array name with the what? With the index. All right. So the index now, I have the image cover. Okay, I have image cover equals what? Items dot what dot image cover, which is this, which is items or what? Img, which I'm getting from what? From here. Items dot what dot img. So items dot what dot img. This is my image cover. So I'm targeting the specific objects, inside my what? Inside my array. So when this thing load automatically, you will see the first item will load. So let me just comment or purposely remove something here. Let me just remove something here. So presently now there's no what? There's no image. So you know that this is not breaking. So I want to be sure if this what is working or it's not the one that is what is working. So I have in this place now, I have image img show equals to what? This uh image cover dot sroc equals to items dot what dot image. So why is it that it's not what? It's not appearing? My items is this, my people is what? Is going for current what? Current. I have my current item what? Past here. So I know that I'm looking at the first item. So image cover dot sroc equals to what? Items dot what? Image. So where is this image coming from? Let me see. Dot. Okay, I have access to the what? To the image. So is it that I didn't trigger this one again, this DOM content loaded, or what's going on here? Hmm. Item dot img. I'm correct now, so what's the problem? Item.img. Let me pass it directly and see. Item.what.img. Done content loaded. Const this. I hope I have access to console.log. I have access to this item first. People. Let's say that will be people. People. The index I'm looking at here. I'm looking at 0. Let me see whether if this thing is working. Status 404 error. Cannot set property of none in HTML. Oh, there's an error up. That's why. So this one does no longer exist. I would have said what's going on. So one thing about JavaScript is if there is error in your program, everything will just crash. So it will not just show at all. So the error I'm having here now, I think I've commented on call type error cannot set property of none in HTML. Line 53. BTN is not defined. So this is the advantage of writing on top of Kudo. So just it's confusing. Alright, so I know that this is what is going on here now. So I said BTM is what, or type error cursor is not okay. I think I said console.log, Abby. I said console. Yep. So BTM is not defined. So you can see that the image is not showing. So BTM is not defined. What's going on here? BTN is okay. So this one is supposed to be next what BTN. This is going to be next BTN. So I don't have any error again in my program. So you can see that the image is actually what is actually appearing, but it's very big. So it's very big. Where does display the image? Okay, I gave this one a width. Oh, I didn't pass the width here. All right, there will be an error here. There will be an error here. So you can see now that when the browser load, the first image will appear. This is the second image. Okay, so let's go back to our JavaScript. Now the question now is that I want, as this one load, I also want the other item that I have here to also load along with it, which is the name, the phone number, and the ID. So what do I need to do? It means that I will create an HTML element inside here. I also create an HTML element which I have just built in. Let's say I'm going to have something like let me pass it inside a paragraph. Let me say paragraph. Then this one I've already done it here. I don't know if I can bring this one down there, but let me just do it new. So I'm going to give it a class of text, or let's say text image img words name, img name. Then this other one I'll also give it a class of img words image words id. All right, I'll pass id here, image words id. Are we together? Hello, are we together? Hello.
Yeah, yeah,
Hello.
sure.
So I gave this one a class of image name, then I gave the text, the other one to be image words, the image word id. So it means that I have to make those variable, I have to declare those variable here. So the first one is going to be const image, I think it's img name. I gave it img hyphen words name, sorry, image name. Let me just say image name. This is a variable. So this is the variable. It's supposed to be image img name. img name. So inside there is why I will now pass in the img with hyphen words hyphen name. Then I'll go for the other one again, which is uh img words id. Let me give it a capital letter id. Then this one should be img words id. So if I want this thing to appear here now, the concept here is, first of all, the variable that you have declared, which I'm going to say the img name. So remember, if you want to display text, use inner html. Let me use this one, inner html, or you use your words text content. Inner html equals to, I'll call my words my items dot, what am I looking at inside my array? We call it what? Name. So if you save this, you're supposed to have the paragraph elements showing that particular name. Paragraph image name. So let's come img name dot inner html equals to items dot what dot name. So what if I say item dot text contents? Let me see, it's like there's an error there. So let's see what's going on. Let me inspect the cursor so that I'll see what's going on here. Alright, I'm having error with objects. It said type error, cannot set property of non-setting test words, test contents. Image name equals to what? I have it as my test contents. Test content equals to items dot what dot name. I'm correct. Items dot what dot name. Items dot image test contents. Image name. What's going on here? This is correct now. What did I use here? I use class. So what did I call here? Const image name document. Oh, look at this. I'm using get element by id. So it's supposed to be query selector. Sorry. Oh. Is Crespc in this class? Query selector. This one should also be query selector. Crespin. Query selector. Are you with us? Query selector.
Yes, sir.
So which one is now get element by id that I'm passing here? So there will be an error here. Get element by id. What did I give this one here? I gave it an id. So this one should be fine. So on cut error, cannot set property of non-test contents. Okay. Oh, image name dot test content equals to items dot name. This is correct now. Image name dot test contents equals to dot test content equals to items dot name. Cannot set property of page name document dot, ah, there should be dots there now. You guys are just looking at me. So I think it's correct now. So it should you can see that I'm having access to that item on my browser. All right, Crespin, that's the name. So the other thing I want to have access to is going to be the ID. So that will be this one. Are the variable name is image ID, img id, img id dot text content. This one I can call my words, my id straight up. So that will also appear on your on your browser. So the first item that you are seeing there is what we have when we use the window dot add event listener dump content loaded. So we are seeing it that is telling you that not available is because we did not pass image here again. Hope you remember. So if I come here and I pass my image back here, let's say I say okay, oh, show me a default image, which is this, I won't be having that 0 by default. All right, but the concept that we are actually looking at is a concept that we want to be able to what to nest. Click on this. As this change, all right, the item should also what change. As the picture change, this item should also change, and vice versa. So what is going on here is because this particular line of code that I've just added now is not on the next words on the btm. I see I have only image. This is a function that we have declared. All right, this is a function that we have we actually declared. All right, so and I said when the button is clicked, I have to call the function, which is what the show img. The function name is what we show img, right? We say trigger a function, you just call the function name, bracket open and close. So why am I having correct item inside? You see, when this function was declared in line 118, is a function that is having a parameter, or you call it argument. All right, whenever a function is declared with an argument, when you call that function, you must pass something for the argument, for the parameter or argument to feed upon. So what you are passing inside there is what we call what value. Remember, what is my value? My value is not the increment. All right, my value is not the increment, which is what the current item which we have declared here. Is that okay? So if I save this and I refresh, if I click on next, Fola is number 2, ID of 2. Click on next. I'm having this, okay, Fola, which is what the ID of what 2. Let me refresh again so that I'll see what's going on. I think there's a repetition of ID here. 1. This one was supposed to be what? Where is it? So this one is 1, this one is 2, and this one should be what? 3. This one should be what? 3. So if I click on next, ID of 1, I should get the ID of 2. Now there's already an error. Why am I having error here? Is because when you get to the end of my array, all right, the image does not what? It does not exist again. So what I was supposed to do was I have to return it to what? To back to the beginning. Count it back to the what? To the beginning. That's why I was not saying you use your conditional statement to handle that. So if I say if my current item is greater than my array dot length, my current item, all right, if it's greater than my array dot what's my array now? My array is what? Is people. All right, dot length, we said the length will bring out the total item you have inside your array. So if my current item is greater than my array dot length, I will subtract 1 from it. So if this is a function, for me to pass my statement, I'm going to pass it inside here. I'll set the current item to to 0 before I will now call my I'll call my function. So if I click on this button, I won't have any error again. All right, first, second, I see that there is no error here again. If I click again to go back to the beginning, to go back again, go back. So when you get to the last item that we have here is index of what? Is index of what? Of 3. If you are looking at the naming, is index of 3, but 3 here is what? Is 2, right? 0, 1, or 2. So when you get to this, we have subjected back to what? When this current item is greater than people.length, minus 1 from it. All right, when you minus 1 from it, take it back to what? The current item, which is what? A force. Our force, which is the beginning of what? 0. Please, is that understood? Hello? 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 Are we together?
Hello, yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Fola, do you understand this clicking button that we just did now?
Yeah, in a way, but it's something I'll still need to rewatch over and over again.
Okay. All right. So now, let's not deal with this previous BTN that we have here. I want when I click on this button, this is the first, the second, the third. Why am I not having it changing? What's going on here? Next, next, next. So now I'm having uh my image changing. These other ones are not changing. What's going on? What did I do wrong here? Okay, they are no longer in the show image again. So let me paste, yeah, let me paste these items here. So when I click on this button, for line is number 2, for line is still number 3. Probably I repeated that image. Next. Okay, so now the previous button now, so that I'll be able to go back with a button. When the button is clicked, go to the previous. So I can just come back here, just like this same function that we have here. I'll declare my event listener for what do I call the function here? What do I call the constant here? I call it prev what? btn. Prev uh btn. Prev btn dot what? Add event what? Listener. So I we are listening to what? To a click what? To a click event. Then I will now pass in my callback words, my callback words function. All right, I'll pass in my callback function. I'll have to get something like this. So the first thing for that one now, I should decrease it, which is going to be current item, my current item minus minus. We know that that will what will decrease wherever I have. So if I click on this, all right, I click on this, that's the last, right? If I come back here and I call my show image, that function I have here, you know that I have to pass my correct item inside this call. So if I click on this, is forward, right? This is forward. I click on previous. Are you seeing that it's going back? Forward, forward, previous, previous. But when I click again, I'm going to get an error. If you check it, it's because it has getting to the value that is not inside my what? Inside my array. You can see it. So what do I need to do? I need to use the conditional statement to handle what? To handle that. So I will just say if if current item, if current item is less than 0, which is 0, so I will now pass in the condition that I want to get here. I will say okay, do my current item, which is my variable name, current item equals to my what? My array. My array is what? People. My people dot length, my people dot length, all right, minus 1 from my people dot what? Dot length. That means it has exceeded what? The block of array. So if I save this now, I click on this back. When you get to the last one, which is 0, to go back to the beginning. So this will not flag error. This one will not what? Flag what? Error. Hello, is it that somebody is having network issue? Promise is having network issue, I guess. Crespin, are you following us?
Yes, sir.
So So the next concept that I not say, okay, let's see, do something. Let's make it that let this item be changed by itself. Let this guy be changed by itself. So in that case, you have to bring in a function. You have to bring in a function. Then you now use that function to what? To make your adjustment inside here. So if I come here and I said I pass this logic inside an interval. I say pass it inside an interval, set interval. I've told you that set interval is a built-in method in JavaScript. It's a built-in method in your words in your JavaScript. So set interval. So I have something like this here. So inside this interval, I'm having a call backwards, a callback function, and a timer. I'm having a callback function. Inside is my set interval, my curly brace, open and close. So you can see, let's say I pass in this logic that I've declared here. I pass it inside, I cut it out, and I paste it here. I paste it here. So I want this thing to change on a certain word interval. Then I can set my time in there. So the time I want it to change, let's say I want it to change at, this is my set interval, this is my callback function, closing of my callback function. Then I set it to be like 3000. If I save it, so let's see what's going on here. So set interval, sorry, let me check this syntax, there's an error here. Mhm. Mm. Okay, set interval. Okay, so it's supposed to be inside the callback function, so that's where my error is coming from. It's supposed to be inside my callback function, not outside. So this my 3000 supposed to come inside here. So you see that it's changing. So it will be changing every, supposed to be changing every 3 seconds. Window dot event list now. Pass this here. Mhm. So every 3 seconds now, this picture will be what will be changing. So the reason why you notice that it's not changing when you get to a certain level is because it's actually figuring out error because it has exceeded the array length. All right, it has exceeded the array length, so it won't show when you get to the last item again. So what I'm going to do in that case, you have to use a conditional statement to make it to either go forward or what, or go backward. So using your increment, this thing that will just pass inside here. So if I say, for example, I say when current item is greater than whatever I have there, you should know that that logic should handle whatever I want to pass. Do we understand? Hello?
Yes,
Next,
please. Yes.
next, next, previous, previous. Okay, now if this is okay, let's move on. I want to check something. Okay, this is what is open here. Okay, it's supposed to be inside. So if current item is has exceeded my length, my people or length, I can say okay, oh, come back to what to the beginning. But let's not do that one. Let's just leave it. Let's see something. I hope this is my ID function set interval. Alright, I'm okay. It's just the logic that is making it not to go back. Alright, now please, object is very important in JavaScript. Object is one of the key topic in JavaScript. So going on further, inside this object we actually touch some kind of a concept which is also DOM. So let's just treat DOM in focus now. Let's look at DOM how as a topic on its own. DOM as a topic on its own. We've said that DOM is actually document object mode, and what DOM allow you to do is it allow you to either click. I've been using DOM here. Even if you look at my statement, this one is a DOM. This is a DOM. Query selector is a DOM. Current item is a what? Is a DOM. So let's say for example now I want to write a code whereby uh, when you click a button, I want something to occur. When a button is clicked, I want to call a function. So I will still be using this as my case study. So let's go to the function. In HTML, there's something called an on-click event. On-click. So if I come here and I said do 1 plus 1, I said I pass in, I create a div. So inside this div I create a button. So this button is, I say it's called what? It's called hard. All right. So one thing for you to know that this is what is going to do what to do. Let's say I pass something like on click here. On click is actually a DOM in HTML for your JavaScript. Let me say, for example, I said uh, on click, then inside the on click, I call a function. I declare a function here. This function I have here is to add. Let me pass the function here. I declare a function called here add. This is function for adding two numbers together. So let's say, and I said for example this function is having a parameter, or let me not just use parameter. Let's say num1. Let me use it this way for now. Num1 is equals to 30. Then I said num2 equals to what? 100, which should be expecting 100 and what? 30. So I will now say return. Remember, I will say return statement is what you use to get out of your words, out of your function. Return num1 plus what? Plus num2. Return num1 plus what? Num2. Now I want to trigger this particular function directly in my in my uh, in my HTML. I will just call this on click here. I'll call the function name. What's the function name? Function name is what is hard, right? The function name is what is hard. So sorry, the function name is what is hard. So if I pass in this my function name, which is called hard there, and I click on this button, I'm not passing where I want this thing to appear. Let's say I want it to appear in the I want this item to appear in the, let's say I want it to appear somewhere here, paragraph with an ID of text. Should I give it an ID? So let's give it a class of tests, a class of tests. So I have to go back to my JavaScript and make this thing available for me to what to trigger. So if I come here and I said by documents dot get element by ID, get element by ID, the ID name is text. The ID name is text equals to, let's say, the result of my function, which is going to be what hard, Abby, which is going to be what hard. So when this thing is triggered, I want to see the results printed out. So when I click on this, I was supposed to see my hard coming out. So let me see where the error is coming from. Console.log. No error. On click, I have hard there. Okay, so this on click, I need to trigger the function directly. So hard invalid left hand error. What's going on? What's the function name here? Hard. This is text now. If I have this, are you showing anything there? So when I click, show me I'm having error. So where's your invalid left hand error side assignments? Oh, I was supposed to say dot test contents, man. Dot test contents cannot set property of non-test contents. So what's the variable? Get element by ID text. What do I have here? I gave it a class here. It is well with me. So it's supposed to be ID also. So if I should click on this button now, I should get that result. You can see that I'm having it triggered out. But I want when the button is clicked, alright, when the button is clicked, that's when I want my result to be what? To be triggered. So what I will do in that case, I'll give this button, I've given this button an on click event, right? I'll give it a class or an ID. I'll give it a class. Let's say the class name is btn. The class name is btn hard. Btn words hard. So I'll come back here. Inside this my btn hard. Let me make this variable available. So I can say const btn hard equals to document dot query selector. I have my class. My class name is what? The class name I have here is what? The class name I have inside this button is btn hard. That will be btn what hard. Btn hyphen what hard. So this is now available, all right, to show. So I can now say, okay, when this button is clicked, display this. Don't display it automatically. uh, that will be btn hard dot hard what event listener. So I'm listening to still listening to a click event. It's because I've passed it to another file, that's why. To a click event, then I'll now pass in my callback function inside here. I'll pass my callback function inside this particular place. So this one that I have here, instead of me to be having this here, I'll just bring this one inside here. This one will just go inside here. So now you can see that the result is not coming out until when this button is what? When this button is clicked. Hello? 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 Let me give room for questions. Questions, please. Is there any code here that I've not explained? Yeah, this is still objects. Please, question, if you are there, can you unmute your mic and speak out? Ask your question. Crespin, Fola, Promise. Hello, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
What's going on? Uh,
I can hear you.
what's going on? I hope we are good. Please ask your question. Promise, ask your question. What's the issue?
Network have been disturbing me for a while now, so I don't know where to ask my question. But if I go through the video, then I can ask my questions.
So
Like
okay.
in next class. So
Crespi, what
that's
about you? Crespi, what about you?
So to be honest, well, I have to watch the video because this class I was just listening to it, but I'm not really focused. But I closed this from work today. I'm really tired, so I just recorded the class and I was following along, but I wasn't really like paying attention. Uh, if I watch the video, sure, I will see if they increase on my next class.
All right. You know what we'll do? Next class, we'll pick one particular project, either a to-do application or a calculator-based project, or this your responsiveness of a website, like this header. You know header, when you collapse your display your work on the mobile phone, the header will turn to hamburger. But when you displays your work on the desktop, the header will turn to your normal desktop display. So we'll look at that next class. Then after we've done that project, we'll now move to our React GS. Then I'll give room for questions after we are done with everything that we discuss. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to drop the video, drop the code on the platform.